Hey guys, Jay here with Word of Advice TV, and in this video I'll be explaining how an air conditioner works in the most simple and easy to understand way possible. I'm an HVAC technician and I work on residential furnaces and air conditioners like this bad boy right here, and oftentimes homeowners ask me, how does an air conditioner work? And I quickly realized throughout the years that using long technical words, trying to explain the intricacies of how it works and the specific science behind it loses people real quick. So I would like to think that throughout the years, with my years of experience of explaining to people how it works, I've gotten better at explaining this complex topic in a simple to understand fashion. But I'll let you be the judge of that. After this video is over, please let me know in the comments below how I did. But anyway, the word air conditioning, let's start with that. That simply means to condition a set area or condition the air in a set area. So in our case, air conditioning or the air conditioning unit, all we're doing is taking heat from a place where we don't want it, hot air from a place we don't want it, and putting it to a place where it doesn't bother anybody. So in our example, we'd be taking the hot air from inside the house and dumping it outside where it's not bothering anybody. And to do that, we use this air conditioning unit right here. Now, a lot of homeowners don't actually realize this, but this is actually a two-piece deal. So the air conditioner outside right here, this is called the condenser unit, but if you have a unit like this, that means you have another thing inside the house. If you have a furnace, you're gonna have an A coil, or also known as an evaporator coil, that sits on top of the furnace. It's another coil, smaller than this one, and it's usually shaped like a letter A, that's why they call it an A coil, but that is the second piece of this whole unit. So the air conditioning split system is what it's called. It consists of two things. It's this thing outside, which is basically a box with a bunch of coils going all the way around with fins on them. You got this thing outside, and you have the coil that's inside that typically sits on top of the furnace or below it, or if your furnace or air handler is horizontal, like in the attic unit, it'll be on either side of your furnace. And before we continue, I do have to mention one physics law in order for us to understand this better though. And that is that hot air or heat travels from hot to cold. Always. It always travels from hot to cold. So for example, I live in Minnesota and our winters are really cold. If I go outside when it's -20 and I grab a metal pipe, let's say it has ice all over it or frost, I grab a metal pipe with my hand, the heat will be leaving my hand and going into the pipe. So essentially going from hot to cold. This also can be visible by, like, let's say if there's frost on that pipe, when I grab it, you'll see that frost starting to thaw out and melt. That's because the heat is transferring from my hand into that pipe. And another thing I want to point out is that the greater the temperature difference is between the two objects that are doing the heat transfer, the faster the heat will be transferring. So, for example, if my hand is about 90-something degrees, and that is -20, the heat transfer is going to be pretty quick. The larger the gap, the faster the heat transfers. So when I put my hand on that pipe, I could almost feel the heat just getting sucked out of my hand. And when I finally take my hand away, I can feel that my hand is really cold because it lost a lot of its heat. So hopefully that part was easy to understand because that is essentially how the air conditioner works. So the way that it absorbs heat from the house and brings it outside is by using refrigerant. It's often called freon or coolant, which is just a bunch of chemicals put together to make a really cold substance, actually called refrigerant. Now, this stuff is pumped around the system. So we have the unit outside and the unit inside. There's a compressor in the outside unit, which is basically like a pump. And that pump, it pumps the refrigerant round and round and round between the unit outside and inside. So this really cold substance gets pumped into the house, into the evaporator coil. Now, as that refrigerant is going through all those coils in the indoor coil, there's air from the furnace or the air handler. There's a fan there that blows air across that coil. Now, because the air is hotter than the refrigerant that's inside the coils, as the air goes past the coils, that law of heat transfer applies. So the air, as it goes past it, those coils, they absorb some of that heat and essentially transfer it into the refrigerant. So the refrigerant is absorbing the heat from the air. And that drops the temperature of the air going past that coil, usually about 15 to 20 degrees. So as the refrigerant is pumped through the coil inside, it absorbs the heat in the air, and then it travels outdoors to this unit out here. The first place it goes into in this unit is the compressor. So before the whole entire coil, the refrigerant first goes into the compressor, and that compressor compresses that refrigerant. And that adds a lot of pressure to the refrigerant, effectively increasing its temperature as well. To better understand this, I should probably point out one more physics law, and that is, when pressures go up, temperatures go up as well. When pressures go down, temperatures go down as well. So this originally really cold refrigerant, as it gets pressurized, the temperature goes up to the point where it's actually hotter than the outside air. And then it gets circulated throughout this outdoor coil. Next, the fan that is on top of the unit, when it's running, it sucks air from the sides and then pushes it out through the top. As it's doing that, the air that goes by the coils is actually cooler than the refrigerant inside the pipes, so the refrigerant ends up cooling off or giving up some of its heat into the air. That's why oftentimes when you put your hand on top of a running air conditioner, the air coming out on top is hot. That's because as it goes through the coils, it absorbs the heat in the refrigerant because the refrigerant is hotter than the air outside, and then it rejects it from the top. I know this part is a little harder to understand, but hopefully you were able to grasp what I was trying to explain there. So as the refrigerant passes through the outdoor coil, it cools off and it goes back inside the house. Right before it goes into the coil that's inside the house, there's a metering device. There's different kinds of them, but essentially what a metering device is a little hole that forces all that refrigerant, the high pressure refrigerant, to go through that hole. As it's going through that metering device, essentially it's doing the opposite of what the compressor did. The compressor pressurizes it, whereas the metering device that's right before the indoor coil, that one depressurizes it, or decreases the pressure. And as the pressure decreases, the temperature decreases as well, which brings the refrigerant back to its cold temperature. And then that loop continues. The air blown across the coil gives off some of its heat into the refrigerant, then that refrigerant goes back out here, and then it just keeps going in a loop, round and round and round. And that is how an air conditioner works. So in summary, the unit outdoors, when it's running, the coils need to be hotter than the air outside, and indoors, the coil indoor, that coil has to be colder than the temperature inside the house, or the air blowing across it, in order for this whole process to work. So all of that is achieved by refrigerant, coolant, or freon, or whatever you want to call it. Unfortunately, all good things come to an end. That is all I had for this video. Hopefully you found some new information and you learned some good stuff about how an air conditioner works. And regardless whether you already knew how it works or you came here because you were curious to find out, please leave your feedback in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to mash that like button on the way out, and I will see you next time. And if you're still here and not in the comment section below letting me know what you thought about the video, I'm going to leave you with this puzzle right here. If you can solve it, you're definitely in the minority. So the objective of the puzzle is to move one nickel one time to get each row to have 5 nickels in it. Because right now, this row has 4 nickels, this one has 5. So you need to move 1 nickel to get both rows to have 5 coins in each of them. I'll give you about 30 seconds before I show you the answer. Ready or not, here comes the answer. So the answer to this puzzle is to take the nickel at the end, right here, and put it right over here.